Okay, guys, David at Twice Diecast. We are a long way from home, but we're going to see if we can find any cool diecast in Maine. All right, no doubt about it. You can see 1,500 miles from Twice Diecast HQ. Lots to do in Maine. You got lighthouses. You can do a lobster cruise. You can even see a huge statue of Paul Bunyan from the American Tall Tale. But that's not why we're here today. Let's look for some diecast cars in Maine. Really cool trip. Really glad I went. Look at this picture perfect downtown scene. When Mrs. Twice Diecast was out shopping, I popped in this bookstore right here to see if there was any diecast available. And sure enough, we found a little bit. Now this will kind of be a progressive video. We'll get better diecast as we go along. So it took a while to find cool diecast in Maine, but I'm going to show you everything I could find specifically in the Bar Harbor area of Maine. So we've got the standard fare here. We've got some Kinsmark 132 scale, lots of variety from Kinsmark. Kind of a slept-on brand. You get just everything under the sun. Check out that Shark tractor trailer, followed up right behind it by a Lamborghini. So anything under the sun, Kinsmark has something for every collector, and we'll see more. You've got a really cool old school US Postal Jeep in the same scale. We'll see that in a 1/64 scale as well. That is a DJJ5, something like that, I believe. All right, so in this store, they also had some of these really neat world's smallest toys. And you guys know there are Hot Wheels that are in the world's smallest genre, and they had some cool ones. This apparently is Series 7. They had, looks like actual Hot Wheels castings shrunk down to really, really small. I mean, as big as your thumb. So we'll take a look at a few of those, and then we're going to look at, I believe, also some construction vehicles. Like I said, this is Series 7. Got a really cool open wheel racer here. Don't know if this is IndyCar, F1, who knows. It was actually so small I couldn't tell. You guys that are race fans can spot it right away and tell me. But they did a really good job on the version in this size. Like I said, here are some construction vehicles. We've got world's smallest Tonka. Really cool front end loader looking machine. I like it. I mean, a lot of moving parts, a lot of detail for the size that you get. Yes, actually works. I think Diecast Dude would probably like a few of these. He's big into the farm machinery and construction type equipment. All right, let's move along. We do have some Hot Wheels in regular size. We've got this Batman 5-pack. Comes with a few fantasy cars, an old school Batmobile, and then airplane, I guess. Had some Monster Jam on the peg right beside it. You guys might need to educate me on how to spot Monster Jam chase vehicles. I wouldn't know one if I knocked it over while I was peg hunting, just like I did there. Got a Jurassic something coming up. We're going to clean up our mess here. We've got the Dirt Squad. I've shown those on the channel before. I believe those have working parts as well. Got a little bit more Tonka action. Even got some of these weirdo things. Here is a pretty good looking Gravedigger from Monster Jam. Always a classic, right? Again, this is at Sherman's Bookstore in downtown Bar Harbor, Maine. Here is a Carbonator from Hot Wheels. Red wheels. Not my thing. A lot of you guys love the Monster Jam and Monster Truck stuff, so I'll keep putting it on there. You guys like it. Ertl does a pretty wide variety like Kinsmark rather. Here is a space shuttle followed up by a locomotive. Don't show enough trains. Used to have a train when I was a child. Had an N-gauge set that really liked the diorama aspect of that, getting the cars to go along with it. Got some more pullback, little cool combi action right there. Here's a smaller version of the mail truck. I think that's a Kinsmark as well. You can see just, pretty standard stuff. You see these at almost every pharmacy in the United States. Really cool antique dealers on these country roads in Maine. We popped in one, and I've had good luck in the past going to antique dealers, especially ones that have multiple vendors. This was just a single proprietor, but I like the look of it right when I walked in. See some Tonka action. They were pretty keen on the value for some of their diecast, so didn't do too well shopping in this place, but I did find some cool stuff. You'll see some of the prices on the original Lesney that I'm about to pull out of this bag here. $60. So I guess if it's worth that, then kudos to them for staying on top of it. Looks to be an old Lesney casting with the base like that. We got some Blackwall Hot Wheels, $20 for that police chief vehicle. Not sure who did this Porsche. They were all, at least, they were put in these little baggies. So a lot of Matchbox, original Matchbox, were in these baggies. We'll get to some more reasonably priced models here in a second. I did like going through these bins because I had the idea there was something good in here. And I'm not sure, these were probably a little pricey for my liking. Always love the BP tanker, a classic one. All right, why don't I shut up for a second and then we'll get to the basket of cars that I dive into next. Almost didn't see this basket sitting here as we were making our way out of the store. Got some old Matchbox, really cool Isuzu Rodeo. I'll try and name the ones if I can, really cool. Hot Wheels BMW 325i. I don't remember this version, guys. This has got, I think it had a metal base on that. Good old Matchbox mixed in. At this point, I was starting to have some PTSD from the last prices on the old Matchbox, so I wanted to check before I got too invested. $3 each, not bad. And I'm wondering if that bus got taken out of a baggie and put in this basket. It looks like some of the others. We got some Hot Wheels, fire truck, security van, pretty random mix. Looks like stuff for the kids. We'll go through it just to see, make sure there's nothing super special in there. There's that limo blown engine on that tuned vehicle, double-decker Matchbox. That's always a fun one to find. I like that one. A little bit of NASCAR in this video. You'll see more of that at another vendor. Chevy Avalanche. Looks like a Tahoe. Then we got some no-name Chinese stuff. One of my favorite casting that just gets banged on all the time. Maisto did this PT Cruiser. They even did the original dealer marketing campaign cruisers that went out when the vehicle's brand new. I have one of those. And so, that's a tribute to the great job Maisto did on that casting. Got a little Ford Mustang Boss action, I think, on that one. And this is all going by memory, guys. All right, we will dive through a few more. We're gonna look at this VW Beetle, and that's gonna do it. But before we go, I saw this really cool car hauler that was an old, I think it's an old Tonka piece, and it's got 4 Stingray Corvettes. How cool is that? Kids probably didn't even know how cool the cars they were playing with were. Now the cars are plastic that came on that Tonka hauler. So it's time to go eat. Mrs. Twice Diecast is ready to quit looking at cars. Bar Harbor is pretty cool about having neat nightlife. This restaurant that we ate at even did a tribute to Diecast inside the restaurant, which is pretty cool. I seem to find these while we're out, not on purpose. Next day of peg hunting, we had to hit the old standby, the old trusty and I'm kind of glad we did. The Bar Harbor Walmart had some new stuff. Did not look like it had been fleeced completely by collectors. There were no chases or supers or treasure hunts or anything like that, but they do have new P-case Hot Wheels here for us to look at. That's a pretty wild F-150 custom. You guys like this new 62 Corvette? I like that. Simple little roundel on the side. Really cool as a racer. I was constantly getting pulled. My peripheral vision was seeing these Forza set. I had not seen these on the pegs yet. So we'll look at the full set here. We have got the Z4 and the really cool BMW racing colors. The F-Type Jaguar in British racing green with rear light details. Bugatti with full front and rear tampos on that. I had not seen this version of the Alfa Romeo. That's really well done. Yeah, these are $3, but you do, to their credit, you do get lamp detail on, it looks like the front and the rear. This was a really cool 8-pack from Hot Wheels. Check out that black Z with the red rims. We've got a Porsche, we've got a Tesla, we've got an Alfa. Pretty good set. Speaking of being good set and good value for your money, check out how many good cars you get in this 20-pack from Maisto. So far I've seen 3 or 4 that I like. There's a 356, there was a few others on that row, Lamborghini, BMW. 3 out of 5 were hits for me on each one of those rows. So that's really good. 12 to 15 out of 20 that I was kind of digging. Went back to Hot Wheels to check out this set that had a Cyclone in light aqua green, seafoam green, and a really well done Ford Mustang. Moving along, we've got some Matchbox. Didn't hit the main lines at all. Too much to look at. The working rigs got my attention after the neon speeders. I've already seen those. I didn't dive into those. You can see those on a video on the channel. Really nice box truck with Goodyear livery on it like that. Was curious if any of the other new the new Working Rigs series were that good, and I don't think they were. That Goodyear was a hit for me. New Race Day series, making sure there wasn't any chase pieces. There is the vehicle that is a chase vehicle. It is in all black if you find one. So that was a 935. Then we've got an Aston Martin, Audi R8 rather. The really cool Ford Capri. Love that thing. And then the last one is the DTM touring car, AMG. Maybe that is the chase. Is that the chase? That might be the chase in all black. I'm mistaken. I'm kind of confused right now. I could have sworn it was a 935. That Mercedes maybe was a chase in another set. There's a leftover 500E. And then we've got the really cool Sierra Cosworth. We'll put it right beside its other British motoring legend. That's a pretty good 1-2 punch coming out of the UK back in the day. Speaking of, how about a Rover? You guys seen that? This is probably a pretty hot one overseas. It's kind of on the pegs over here, guys. If you're in the UK and need some help getting one, let me know. Green light 91 Chevy Impala, looking as plain and beautiful as ever. Love that version of that car. And we've got, looks like some new green light that have just come out. Different shows that I wasn't familiar with. Cold Pursuit, I was familiar with Grease. Here's the actual Grease Lightning. Mercury convertible, really cool. You can see some NASCAR there off to the side. We won't dive into those, but we will show some a little bit later. Check out this 2010 Jeep Wrangler Unlimited. In a second, we're going to compare it to a AutoWorld that did one in orange as well. But first, we've got some Majorette. A little bit of age on these. We've seen these before. still worth seeing and looking if you haven't seen them before, because these are really cool ones. Here's a GTR with a white racing stripe down the center. We'll do some tidying up before we look at the Porsche collection. Just one Taycan today. Got some new AutoWorld, and man, I thought I had two different Ultra Reds. This one, I just had to check and double check. The way you tell on AutoWorld, guys, is if the color of the car in the blister matches the one on the card, then you do not have a chase piece. If they match, you just have a red version of that car. Here is the other Jeep we're going to look at. Really well done by both companies. I think I might prefer the AutoWorld version. What do you guys say? One's a 2013, one's a 2010, not apples to apples comparison. Another pseudo chase piece from AutoWorld, but it is the same color as the one on the card. Not a big find there, but they are looking really good. Pontiac Firebird. I'll tell you, this Walmart in Bar Harbor had plenty to offer collectors, even a nice clean gold Starion. I've got the Tarmac Works version of this. It's modified in red with gold wheels. I really like that stock version right there by AutoWorld. And I am just about ready to pull the trigger on some of these funny cars by M2. We'll go back and look at those in a second. They had loads of Coca-Cola stuff. I'm just making sure there's no chase pieces. But look at these funny cars for a second, guys. Pipes, wheels, tires, lettering, just pretty much knocked it out of the park on those. Good job, M2. All right, we'll look at these carriers real quick. I think we got one more surprise. We have got a premium box set that is just hitting the shelves. I think a lot of you guys, especially you overseas, are going to enjoy. We'll make sure nothing lurking on the shelves as far as a chase piece. Got some pink slips, bigger, backing up. Before we leave, yep, there it is. How about the new, I don't know what this one is called, but it looks like a rally racing set. It comes with a van and a trailer, as well as a really cool Metro, Lancia, and the, what is that, the RS200, yes. I like that it comes with a trailer on that one. So that's a cool set, $27.97 American for that set. And this was a really good detour to Walmart. Must not be a lot of diecast collectors in Maine, and if you are, then happy for you. I thought about jumping up there and looking what was in that box. Pretty sure it was going to be nothing anyway. All right, so we found one more really cool antique store on the way out of town. This is on the way home, so check this out, guys. This will be our last stop. This has got 3 levels of toys, pop culture, comics, baseball cards, die-cast cars. Amazing store. I will put the name of the place in the description. It was called 1A Relics. I just don't remember where it is offhand, but we're going to look at some cool stuff. In fact, I'm going to be quiet, let you just kind of look the way I looked at it going through with my camera. Okay, well, I told you we were gonna look at some NASCAR, and here we are. We've got some older NASCAR. I think Lionel might be the only company doing them nowadays. So these were, unless these are Lionel, and I don't think they are, then these were before Lionel became the sole provider of NASCAR. So a neat little pocket of NASCAR in there. Cool thing about this place was you just had to look on every shelf. It was stuff tucked behind tanks, as you can see right there. Those were some Tootsie Toys, some old American diecast. And then right beside, the most antique looking cars, you'll see a GTR. Got some carded Hot Wheels. It's been a minute since I've seen these. $12.49, unless you're missing this from your collection, maybe that's high. I don't know if these are hard to find nowadays. That particular set. Another Goodyear truck, well done, this time by Greenlight. Got some carded Hot Wheels from a few years ago. Not sure what the collecting style was on these. It was just hit or miss all over the map. And that's what's fun about these places. You just never know, and you have to go through the whole thing to get a read on what the collector collected. Found a lot of stuff just tucked in these little cabinets here. Neat way to store and display Hot Wheels if you need something to do with your Coke boxes. Another Maisto home run from back in the day, the Scion XB, $10. Where else are you gonna find that one, guys? Maisto gave us a lot of castings on vehicles that we love and didn't have anywhere else. This was one of the better finds of the afternoon. A good old-fashioned majorette. Ford Transit van with the working side door. That's pretty cool. As we start to wind down and make our way out of the store and back home, just want to thank you guys for watching the video. This is David at Twice Diecast. We are up in Bar Harbor, Maine, and actually on the way to Bangor, Maine to hit the road, go back to Alabama. I'm glad you joined me to watch some peg hunting in Maine, and I guess we've got a few more clips coming up here. Thought we were about ready to wrap it up, so we'll just keep on looking. I'll keep yapping if you don't mind, looking at the cars while you listen to an old man talk about little cars. So as we make our way out, only fitting way to get back to the south is to end with a good old Dukes of Hazzard untouched Ertl set. Look at that, guys. $125. You get Boss Hogg's Caddy, the Dodge Monaco Sheriff's Patrol car, and the General, of course, and that's gonna do it. This is David, your captain, saying thanks for watching. Until the next video, guys, take care, and I will see you guys then.